Okay, so let's finish up this rough draft. So far we have the introduction with our thesis statement underlined. And just to show you real fast, this is that picture of the beginning of days, and this is the picture of the current downtown Luling. I want to show you where this picture came from. Okay, so this came from the picture that's posted on the internet. Look at all these lines. It's just a mess. It does not give an appealing look of Luling, Texas, with all these lines prominent in the foreground. So I called the director of the Chamber of Commerce and asked him if I could clean up the picture just a little bit for this essay, and they said, sure, that's fine, and I got down their name, so I have that little permission written, and I'm going to document that on the picture. So you can see, and I have a Photoshop program that my dog Dixie could use, and so you can see where I just sort of covered up all those lines a little bit with sky, but I didn't disrupt any of the names of the town, businesses or anything, so just to show you that. So back in the rough draft, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add insert a caption. I'll be right back. Now, for whatever reason, it makes you put in the figure 1. So I insert that, and I just go in here and take out the words photo, image, figure 1. If this was a long essay, I'd number the figures, but this is a short essay. So there we go. Nice? All right. And then the next paragraph we've completed, which was the history of Texas and leading into Luling, Texas, and that's the end of that paragraph. Isn't that a lovely little paragraph? Very sweet. This is out of place now, so we gotta play around with it and get it to where we want it. There it is. And okay, I'm going to work on this a little bit. And what I do to work on that is I move the image around a little bit more. Okay. And that puts this in the right place. Okay, and that moves this right under here. And I'm just right-clicking and moving things around. Looks lovely. All right. Good, good. Except for that. Be right back. Okay, so I just backspaced that, got that done. Now we're ready for what? Well, let's go look at the outline and find out what comes next. I'm going to get this all set up and ready for the next paragraph, and I'm going to go over here to the outline. And we've just finished the history of Luling. So now we're ready to go and see what is next. That is attractions. Okay, so we're ready to talk a little bit about Zeddler's Mill. We have that picture there. All right, and so let's just see what's in Zeddler's Mill. Okay, and this is all quoted. And remember, we don't want to have the entire essay quoted material because only a third of the essay can be quotes. But let's just pop this in there. Go ahead and make it Times New Roman, 12 font. Go ahead and double space it. And let's see what we've got. Okay, so I don't want to start any paragraph with quoted material. So I'm going to fill in this area with my own content. And how do I do that? Well, I make a claim, and the claim that I make is what this quoted material proves to be true. And because the entire paragraph needs to be not 8 or 9 sentences at the most. Right now, this is 4 sentences, and that leaves 4 sentences for Holly D's quilting shop, and that leaves 1 sentence for the transition. So this works out nicely. Now let me fix this up and wordsmith this, and I'll be right back. I added this introductory sentence to the paragraph, strolling along the San Marcos River. Although the problem with that is this has to do with the river and Zeddler Mill, but it doesn't have anything to do with Holly D's shop. So my first sentence needs to include that. All right, so I'm going to fix that, and I'll be right back. I just want to show you each step of the way. Okay, see what happened when I added this information? That made the whole thing go cattywampus. So let's look at what it says. Luling hosts a number of exciting attractions and activities, including Holly D's Quilt Shop, and a stroll along the San Marcos River is a favorite activity for locals and visitors. And then another along, which is redundant. Right? So include in a stroll along the San Marcos River. Luling hosts a number of exciting attractions and activities, including Holly D's Quilt Shop and a stroll along the San Marcos River, featuring the majestic Zedler Mill, a photo opportunity with a long and winding history. Next sentence is going to be about the Zedler Mill and their long and winding history. You see the logic? In 1880, all of this stuff is not really important. Who cares about all these names? Well, if we were going to go into an in-depth history, but we're not. This is a short essay. So I'm going to go ahead and even in this rough draft, I'm going to take out some of this information. And I'm going to say, German immigrant, comma, Fritz Zedler purchased the site and mill equipment, naming it the Luling Water Power Company. That's from City of Luling. The entire 3-story facility caught fire in October of 1888 and was totally destroyed. The citizens of Luling promised to hold the sale of their cotton crops for Zedlers to rebuild. Devastated but not giving up, the Zedler family rebuilt the mill factory, and within 7 weeks it was operational. Okay. Let me fix this sentence. I'll be right back. Okay, so I tightened this up a little bit. The entire 3-story facility caught fire in October 1888 and was totally destroyed, period. The citizens of Luling pitched in to help the Zedlers rebuild. Devastated but not giving up, the Zedler family rebuilt the mill factory, and within 7 weeks it was operational. Today the mill is no longer a working mill. Is no longer a working mill, but a delight for a memory of days past. Okay, so that was how many sentences? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5. Okay. Let's see if we can get in Holly D's information, and if it doesn't make it look all clustery and crowded, then we'll be able to do this in one paragraph. If it is, okay. Okay, so that's part of the outline. That goes over here to the rough draft. Let's pop it in. Okay, and that made everything go cattywampus. Double space. Go ahead and justify the margin. Why is everything underlined? All right. Lovely. Okay, okay, so what I just mentioned was the town, the citizens of Luling. That's one of their things in Luling, is that they're very hospitable and they are really cool people. So now we've got Denise Green's quilt shop attracts artists across the state. At Holly D's, tourists can take, tourists and locals, can take classes in quilting, custom order quilts, and create new and unusual patterns. An avid quilter, Denise invites everyone to the Bluebonnet Shop Hop, where over 800 quilters are featured. All right, let me fill in this a little bit, and then I'll be right back, and we'll see if this looks like a nice paragraph or whether it needs to be split up into two. Okay, so I didn't go into a lot of detail about Holly D's. And let's see, I'm concerned that the paragraph length is going to be too long. And just look at the rest of them. Okay, it looks pretty good compared. We're within our 8 to 9 sentences. Okay, let's leave it. Okay, so now it's time to place our images. Okay, so that's Zedler Mill, and obviously it's way too dark. So let's look over here. See, the last one was on the left, so this position will be on the right. Obviously it's too big, so let's make it smaller. I like that the other one's going to start on another page. So we have to get this moved. Right. And then we're going to go down here and put in, I photoshopped that image of the Denise and the things that she makes. So I took that picture of her, that picture of the quilt that she built, and then a little picture of the shop. And I made that. This is going to go on the left. We need your position left. Boom. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we're ready to go on to the next paragraph, which is where we're going to talk about the big E, which is the watermelon thump. So let's go back over here. We're all through with that. We're down to the last two paragraphs. All right, so let's see what all we have for the Luling Festival. This is going to be 2 paragraphs, I can tell you that right now. Can't you? You see that? We're not going to have these long quotes in here because those were just the ones we copied, pasted, and made sure we did the citations for. But once we build the paragraph, that's the conclusion. So we have this, this, this. Now, maybe it'll be 1 paragraph by the time we edit it down because I go way into this I like because this is in my own words. So let's put my own words in there. And then this quote from Ravana Damon. All we need to know, this paragraph is about that. I don't know that we need the stuff about her grandfather. That doesn't seem to be pertinent information, does it to you? Let's just cut right here. I'm going to copy this. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to color it That way I know I used that, and I'm going to have this as leftovers just in case I need something for the conclusion. Because if I come down to the conclusion I don't have enough information, I've still got some fun stuff about this that I can add to the conclusion. So it's not going to necessarily go to waste. Let's pop this in here, new paragraph. Oops. Okay, and first thing I always do, just to make sure I don't forget, is go in here, Times New Roman 12, and double space, because that is actually, all right, good. All right, so let's just see if we say the Watermelon Festival has become synonymous with good Southern culture since I was a child. When I was 8, we went to the festival, and there is no they. When judges crowned the queen of the festival, Miss Thump, I cried. As with any prestige, royalty is shaped by the past. I studied an interview. See, I didn't conduct the interview. I studied an interview with Ravana Damon, Miss Thump 2013. My mom was queen in 1998. My grand-aunt was 2 in 1968. So we're just going to cut her quote off right there and go back over here. What's the citation? Okay. And just pop that in there. So that we start the essay in my own words, and then we go on with her little quote. Because I was going to make a big deal about how, a lot of it has to do with nepotism, but what traveler needs to know about nepotism? Come on. All right. That's enough of that. Okay, back over to the outline, and I see that I have this left in case I need it for the conclusion. And let's see, the festival is about more than Queens, still in the same paragraph. We're talking about, in this paragraph, we're describing what the festival is about, and it's about Queens. So let's see if this logical thing is the next logical sentence. Okay, and we don't want to go quote unquote. That didn't work. Be right back. Okay, there's one thing missing from the paragraph above, which is about attractions, and that is a transition sentence to the Watermelon Festival. So that was already in the outline, so I'm going to copy it. And be right back. This is what the transition sentence was in the outline. I don't like it there. It doesn't logically fit. So I'm going to fix this and make this transition sentence shorter. I'll be right back. Okay, so I shortened that. Few Texas festivals are as popular as the annual Watermelon Thump. Now, I didn't put the quote there because you don't want to begin a paragraph with a quote or end a paragraph in quoted. It needs to be in my own words. So, next sentence needs to be in my own words. The Luling Watermelon Festival, founded in 1953, has become synonymous with Texas culture since I was a child. When I was 8, we went to the festival, and when judges crowned the queen of the festival, Miss Thump, I cried. As with any prestige, royalty is shaped by the past. I studied an interview with Ravana Damon, Miss Thump 2013. My mom was queen in 1988, and my great-aunt was too. Okay, so that mentions tradition. So I'm going to go into the next point. What's the next point that I'm supposed to be making? Oh, that was that thesis statement. And you see how I shortened that transition sentence. Okay, so moving on. Okay, it's a good time for a quote. Let's copy that. I've already said that it was first established in 54, so we don't need to add that. Okay, so first step, we don't need this. Let's just say what it does. So let's just say the watermelon promotes local farmers. Local farmers. Okay. The Watermelon Thump promotes local farmers. Is that going to make this sentence way too long if I do the Luling Water? No, because I got to quote where this came from. Okay. When that happens, all I have to do is just go to position and just put it like that, and it'll put it in the middle of the text, and then I can slide it around. The Luling Water becomes the Watermelon Thump promotes local farmers. Well, the Luling Watermelon for starting in 1953 to promote our farmers has become synonymous with Texas culture. Period. We don't need to say since I was a child, since we're just going to say that. So there, that tightens that up. All right, good. Visitors to Luling are shown a wonderful time. Everyone to feel welcome, enjoy the parade and events, and eat their fill. 12. What else needs to be in this paragraph? Let's go back to the outline. See how I just don't even have to fret with it because I can go back and forth. Okay. Then there's this stuff about me when I was fourth place. Watermelon Texas is in 1989 was true. The distant judges might have helped me out a bit, but I don't care. Fourth place still gets a ribbon. That's a cute little story about me and the Watermelon Festival. Okay. Let's just highlight it so I know I used it. Okay, back over here to the rough draft. And that sentence goes there. And it needs to end. I haven't double spaced it yet, just to see if it's okay, I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to leave this in, and I realize when I do that, and I get to my pictures, that I've got pictures of the Queen, but I mentioned the contest. And that contest, so it looks like the only festival, if all the pictures that I show are that, then it looks like that's all they do is just have a Queen contest. So I'm going to change, I'm going to keep this, I'm going to keep it for the conclusion maybe. And this is them judging the seed spitting contest. So I'm going to use these two images. Her little Queen picture. Just because people think, oh, you don't realize Texas Queens until you've been to one. Okay, so we're going to pop her right in there. And let's see, where was the last one? Last one was there, so hers needs to go over here. Okay, and we're going to make it smaller. And let's just go ahead and add a caption. Okay, and we know it's going to keep that thing in there. We just take it out. Center it, hopefully. And then, instead of that picture, let's just take that out. Instead of that picture, let's have the seed spitting contest. The judging of the seed spitting contest go right in there. All right, so that's over here. Isn't that cute? They are just so cute. Copy, go back. And by the time you've written your essay, I hope you'll be in love with your little town, because I think it's really important to support. Shoot. All right, well, let's just take it down here. But it's because we still need a transition sentence. All right, let me fix this. I'll be right back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take this sentence and make this the last, next to the last sentence in the paragraph, so that it goes from the beauty queen, the seed spitting contest. I've lost the picture. Ugh, when things slide around. Okay, so I always just can't wait to save it as a PDF so it'll stop moving around. Okay. And let's add Bubba's comment. Visitors to Luling are shown a wonderful time by Bubba, Damon, and the Thump staff, who say we want everybody to feel welcome, enjoy the parade and events, and eat their fill. And now I have a transition to the conclusion, because that's all that's left to do. So let me write a transition sentence. We don't want to quote, so I'll write it in my own words. Let's look back up in my outline, and I found this transition sentence up here, and that looks like a good transition to the conclusion. Go ahead and highlight that just so I know I used it. So I'm going to make sure my conclusion is okay. So let's go back over here to the rough draft. Okay, so this is the transition sentence to the conclusion. A visit to downtown Luling, featuring shops from the Luling Watermelon Shop to the museum, a stroll along the River 5 restaurant dining, sure to provide a delightful visit. And that leads us into the conclusion. Let's see if this paragraph's okay. It's all right for the rough draft. All right. Now we're ready for the conclusion, and we're done with the rough draft. Okay, so let's go over here to the conclusion. Okay. I'm just going to take this whole thing. I like that. I like that for the... I'm going to highlight it so I know I used all of it. Okay, let's see how this turns out like as a conclusion. Remember, I got to take out all this, move this back in. And I had already written some of this in my own words as I went along, and I studied something and I wanted to see something. All right, let's just fix this. I can't stand it when everything's in different fonts coming from the outline into the essay, but I won't double space it yet. Luling has come a long way from the original Ragtown, as they called it, that featured every kind of good and bad makeshift saloons, restaurants, and even a shooting gallery as entertainment. Luling Museum. Today, tourists enjoy a peaceful walk. I already said a walk along that river 100 times. Oh. Okay, so I didn't repeat the Zedler Mill since I've said it 100 times. So... today, tourists enjoy a morning stroll exploring the Luling lavender fields and visiting the town shops and galleries. In December, what's the problem with that? Right. In December, Denise Green's town favorite is the Cocoa and Carols Festival, featuring pork tacos and Texas tamales. With plenty of quaint hotels and B&Bs, Luling is a year-round destination for travelers of all ages. Luling features events throughout the year that draw crowds from points near and far. Denise Green's favorite festival is the Roughneck Barbecue Roundup in March. Luling, Texas, where even the oil rigs pay tribute to watermelons. Do we need to add anything else to that paragraph? Let's see what's left. What's left that I didn't use? This stuff. Oh, we've mentioned the Queen enough, don't you think? You see anything else? I think we're done. I really do. And for a short essay like this, I don't think we need to say anything else. Let's just go ahead and double space this, and we're going to save it and conclude this tutorial on the rough draft, and we'll check it all out when we do the final draft. We'll justify the margins, double spaced it. Zip, zip, zip. And let's go ahead and close it out and end this tutorial on the conclusion of the rough draft.